Let's talk about fish. Fish are similar to meat because there are kosher fish and there are non-kosher fish. There are categories. So of course you're only allowed to eat kosher fish. And the Torah gives us simanim, signs, ways of identifying the kosher fish and distinguishing them from the non-kosher fish. This is indicated in the Shulchan Aruch, Yeridei Siman Pei Gimel, who says that the Mechaber says Simanei Dagim Meforashim Batorah. The Simanim of Dagim are clearly stated in the Torah, so that we can identify the ones that are kosher and the ones that are not edible. Kol sheyesh lo snapir v'kaskeset tahor. Every fish that has fins that kind of drive the fish through the water, and kaskeset. Kaskeset are the fins are the fins and the scales. Now it's true that it's not obvious what fins are always and what scales are, but these are the simanim that the Torah gives for eating fish. So all fish is divided into two groups. One group is edible and the other group is not. And the Ramah adds, "V'dafka shehei mekalfim b'yad b'kli, aval im efshar lekalfam me'or hadag lo mikre kaskeset." So he adds this point. The Ramah adds that a kaskeset has this quality that the scales can be removed easily from the fish. But if the scales cannot be removed from the fish, then they are not considered to be scales. The Rambam says it in this way. In Machalot Aserot Perek Aleph, Halacha Kaf Daled. The Rambam says, "Uvedagim shnei simanim." There are two signs in fish, snapir v'kaskeset, the fins and the scales. Snapir hu sheporeach bo. Snapir is what grows out of the fish, right? You see it, the fins. Kaskeset, he had dvuka b'kol gufo, and kaskeset is stuck onto the entire body of the fish. The kosher yesh lo kaskeset, if the fish has scales, it also has fins. Ein lo achshav, but if it doesn't have it now, k'sheyigdal yellow, o sheyesh lo kaskeset, k'shehu bayam k'sheyaleh, yashir kaskeset, arei ze mutar. If it's a kind of a fish that has that right now it doesn't have the kaskeset, the snapir, but it grows up, it will have one. And a kind of fish that when the sea has a kaskeset, but shi'aleh yashir kaskesav arei mutar. Even if it has the scales, the fish has scales when it's in the water, but when it comes out of the water, it somehow loses them. Then that's also mutar. In other words, even though the Torah seems to put them into two simple categories, the fact of the matter is that further investigation is necessary. Sometimes a fish that we catch the fish and it doesn't have scales is kosher. And sometimes there are other complications in the kashrus of a particular kind of fish. But so Chachamim had to construct other kinds, alternate or extra simanim that we use in identifying the kosher and the non-kosher fish. What we have to remember is that fish are not all kosher. So you have to have some sort of means of identifying for yourself which are the kosher fish and which are not the kosher fish. And after all, we buy fish in two kinds of fish. We buy fish that look like fish, and then we also buy fish in cans and boxes and ground and cut. And, we can't always identify what the fish that it came from actually looked like or was. And therefore, it's important to buy kosher fish, or fish that has been vetted as kosher by some kashrus authority, just as it's important to buy meat that has been deemed kosher, or so too we have to buy fish that is kosher, has been authorized as kosher by some kashrus authority.